Hey friends, Shay here. So today we are top knotted. We are going to get some stuff done. So today we are building a book cart. I haven't caved up to this point, but I bought this one a while back. I just keep not putting it together. So I figured I was going to build it so that I could put my pile of possibilities for the Amazing Readathon on it. So I figured while I was building this, I could chat with you a little bit about some tips and tricks to surviving and thriving in the Amazing Readathon. So if you're unfamiliar with the Amazing Readathon is a readathon hosted by my good friend Bree over at Four Paws in a Book. Her announcement video for this readathon will be linked down below. Last year I was a host, this year I'm a producer, so I have a bit of the inside track here. So my pile of possibilities may give you some hints as to how things are going to go, or it may not. Loki is a constant thing in this readathon, so chaos ensues constantly. So with that said, last year my team, the red team, won. And everybody was like, oh, it's just because they read manga. It's just because they read manga. Granted, that was probably part of it. Most of my team were manga readers or voracious romance readers. I had a lot of people who were very competitive on my team last year, and they put in just as much work as I did. So I'm just going to give you a few tips that I used to maximize the points that I was getting. Sightseeing has changed this year. A lot of those tricks won't necessarily work, but I do have a couple of key things that'll help you along. So first things first, read the instructions thoroughly, because Bree and I had a long conversation just the other day about how she's going to be even more thorough in the descriptions of the videos on what counts and what doesn't. Granted, in the Discord that is crazy fun, it is also crazy busy. So the mods, the producers, and Bree, we're only like 10 people, and there are like 700 of you that have signed up to participate in this. So you got to cut us some slack. So the best thing to do is be thorough before you're asking questions. There is a does it count thread on the Discord, but I would definitely make sure that you're being very thorough in the instructions first before you're asking questions. And you can say, okay, I can't find the answer in the description of the video. You know, what can I do? And then we're more than happy to help. But if it's there in the description of the video, we're just going to tell you to go to the description of the video, because we all work and we all don't have enough time to live in that Discord for an entire month. So, by the way, I've kind of got the bottom layer done here. We're just working on the middle layer while I talk. So the next piece of advice I would have is audiobooks. Audiobooks are amazing, because there are going to be points in this readathon where you have read so much that your eyes are just tired and you don't want to read. So when that happens, pop in an audiobook, do something else with your hands if you need to. I know a lot of people crochet. I know a lot of people play video games. I love to play a good cozy video game while I audiobook. Lately, my biggest thing I've done recently is I restarted my Animal Crossing island, like from scratch, and it is like the best thing for me. Sorry, I'm going to adjust how I'm sitting a little bit. One moment. I'm at the point now where I have to more kneel than sit on my bum to do this properly, because I'm a shrimp and we all know it. Yes, I would definitely utilize audiobooks whenever you can, whenever your eyes are tired. The next recommendation I would have is to jump on the reading sprints anytime you have a chance, because these reading sprints, not only will they give you Easter eggs, because we are chaos gremlins and love to give Easter eggs wherever we can, but it's a great motivator to keep you going. Because you can, if you see a lot of people from another team on the sprint, you're like, oh crap, I got to get everybody else here, got to get everybody else reading. And yeah, so that really helps a lot, because it'll help keep you motivated to continue to read in those moments where you're feeling like you don't want to. The advice I have is to save your graphic novels and your manga and stuff for your sightseeing prompts. Now, for sightseeing, because it's different this year, the page count doesn't matter on a sightseeing prompt. So I would save your books, like your big books, for your regular prompts. And then for sightseeing, I would do your graphic novels, your manga, even your novellas, because that's the points aren't going to matter on your page count like they will on the main prompt. So save your big books for the main prompt and your little ones and your graphic novels and things that you can blast through really quickly for your sightseeing, so that you're making the most amount of points for your team each leg. Because, you know, you do one big chunky book, but you can read a bunch of little things to get you by until the next prompt, which in a lot of ways I think is smart and wonderful, and that's exactly what I would do. The next thing that I would do is, when it comes to points, you want to get the bonus points whenever you can, but at the same time, you don't want to force a book to fit just for a bonus prompt when you could find something that's longer that fits it better anyway. But you're not getting one of the bonuses is to read LGBT authors this time because it's Pride Month. But if you can find a book that fits the prompt that doesn't necessarily fit, doesn't give you that bonus prompt, like that bonus point set, don't stress it, because the bonus points are just bonus points. If you have something already on your TBR that fits the prompt, but isn't necessarily written by a queer author, don't go out of your way to find a queer author. Read what you have and then go sightsee. Because you'll probably get more points for your team sightseeing than you would in that 50-point bonus for the queer author. So that is something to definitely keep in mind. And the next thing is to be smart about how you spend your GRC. You can, if you just do the middle option every time, you'll have enough GRC. But you can read host favorites and things like that to earn extra if you want to fly and all that kind of stuff. Producers, things work a little different for us, but that's a great way to make sure that you're not having to take penalties late in the readathon. So one thing I'm going to clarify right here. Well, let me put you back down since I'm sitting. You cannot sit on the same prompt forever. We had some people last year try to sit on a prompt and just sightsee forever. No, that's not going to help your team, because at some point your sightseeing points aren't going to count because that leg is 3 legs behind. So worry about the main legs of the race. Do those first and then do whatever sightseeing you can. If you're a voracious reader like me, where I read 100 volumes of manga as well as my 20 books in the Amazing Readathon last year, you do you. But at the same time, if all you can read are the 10 books of the main prompts, do that. If you don't want to worry about face-off weekend, don't. So the other thing is, you can earn a lot of points during face-off weekend if you do it smart. So when it comes to face-off weekend, just take your time. Definitely be smart about it. Don't just rush things. But yeah, maximize your points as much as you can. My battery's going to die, so I'm going to finish making this, and then we'll come back and build my pile of possibilities. Okay, we've now moved. We're now in front of my TBR shelf. The card is right here. It's a little bit out of frame. But let's go ahead and start building my pile of possibilities for the Amazing Readathon. That's the other thing I'd recommend, is build a pile of possibilities, because you don't know the prompts. So it's hard to build a TBR when you don't know exactly what you're going to be reading. So Brie likes to play with colors. So I'm going to pick out a few, and with Pride, maybe something with colors. So there's a purple option. Here's kind of a pinky option. This one also has people on the cover. We had a prompt with people on the cover last time, so maybe water, very blue. A couple of options there. When it comes to the prompts, they tend to be fairly broad, and especially I think they will be this time, just because we're dealing with different genres of book. So you can't necessarily, with I can't even think of one. But yeah, if you niche down what you're looking for too much, like it's not going to work for multiple genres. So, also, I've been wanting to read this one for a while. It's another pink option potentially for me. And last time we had something that took place on a coast. So, you know, maybe she'll repeat a prompt. I have no idea. I'm guessing no, but we'll see. Here's a good red option for me. This one also has books on the cover. Maybe that's something. And then lots of flowers on this one. And it's one I've been meaning to get to for a while. My TBR is even harder to build because I have to, like, producers are going to be reading for everybody. So I have to find things that'll fit for everything. So let's see. Those are a few that I'd thought of. Here's a couple more with, like, blues and greens that maybe I'll do. Here's another one. Today, tonight, tomorrow, maybe. I have no orange on there. Let's see, do I have orange covers? Here. Here's an orange cover. The Fox Tower and Other Tales. I believe this is a short story collection. So maybe that. Yellow. Do I have any yellows? I'm Roy G. Biving it over here. I've been wanting to read this one, so maybe I'll see if I can get that one to fit a prompt. And I've got this one, maybe for a sightseeing prompt. Every day the way home gets longer and longer. And again, you know, we're dealing with water and people and all sorts of things here, so maybe this one. And I got another pinky kind of one here. Might help with the romance team. And I've got Earthlings. This one's a little more spooky horror-ish, so I gotta make sure I throw some of those on there too. And we've got Mortal Follies. That's a queer author, so that will help with a potential bonus prompt. Here's a good purple with Business or Pleasure. I guess my best yellow is gonna be Daring in the Duke, because most of the cover is bright yellow. Like more than half of it is yellow, so I'm gonna put that one in there. I made a list of potential things. Let me grab it. Be right back. All right. So another thing I thought about is like moon and stars, like astrology related things, because I think in every genre that we've picked, there are covers you could find that have that. So I'm going to include Feybound on that one. So I know Brie loves Book of the Month, so I'm going to throw a few Book of the Month options on there. So we've got The Last Russian Doll. Amina Al-Sarafi I haven't gotten to yet. That also has like Body of Water, Ship, that kind of stuff. Then I've got The Four Winds, which is something I've been meaning to get to for a long time. I've got Daughters of Madurai as a potential. Again, I think we've got people on the cover. We've got some nature-related things. This is reading outside of my normal country, so that might be something going on. Then I've got Love in Color by Bolu Babalola, which is a collection of myths and stories from various cultures, I believe mostly African cultures. So again, reading outside of my experience. Then we've got The Wishing Game, again, kind of playing into that like moon and stars thing that I'm thinking about. There's also like a lighthouse down here, which is kind of cool. And again, there's books on the cover. That might be a thing. Hotel Laguna. Again, we kind of have that body of water coastal thing. Again, I don't know if she's repeating prompts, but I'm just preparing for everything. Then I've got Happiness Falls. Again, this is a lot of like nature. There's a wide variety of colors on here. So if it's just like a particular color on the cover, I've got lots of options. Same reason for Shark Heart. Again, Book of the Month, and then a lot of variety of color on the cover, so that might be a good fit. And then I've got the bookbinder. Again, I have this feeling she's gonna play with books eventually, so I just keep putting them on my pile of possibilities, so we'll see what she chooses. Again, I'm not running the show. She is. I'm just there as a helper. And then I've got the First Ladies. Again, we've got a body of water. We've got, you know, multiple people on the cover. We've got nature. Kind of got a little bit of everything there. So I think that will be a good option. This card is a lot smaller than I thought it was. Clearly, I'm not going to be reading all of these. This is just the possibilities, as I said. Okay, that fits there. Okay, that'll work. And then I have the Spectacular, which again is very colorful and it takes place at night, which I thought might, like, the cover looks like it takes place at night. So I thought maybe that could be something. And then just throw in a paranormal romance in there. Again, like person on the cover, animal on the cover. So that might have a place somewhere. Continuing on in a series, I've got My Happy Marriage. And then I've also got this one because the cover's stunning. Again, multiple people on the cover, nature, specific colors on the cover. So that could be a good fit. And then I grabbed A Woman of Pleasure. Again, strong color vibe on the cover. Reading outside my own experience. Throwing in Kamigawa Food Detectives because, again, animal on the cover, a very bright cover. And again, this is going to be more in that mystery realm for me, which I'm really bad about choosing books for that. So reading for that team is going to be a struggle. I'm going to need y'all to help me, as you can tell. And then I also grabbed Hester, because this might be something for my historical friends. Again, florals on the cover. I think most everything could hit that except maybe sci-fi, so she might not have done that one, but maybe for Face Off. I don't know. Let's see. What else can I grab? I feel like I grabbed barely any romance. Like, who am I? Again, another book about books. A very blue cover. Starting a new series as well. And then, obviously, I'll pull manga as I need it, but I think I'm going to cut it off there. I've speculated a lot here. We'll see if any of this comes to fruition as the readathon goes on. But again, when it comes to surviving a readathon like this, is just listening to yourself and don't sacrifice your sanity for this readathon. This is meant to be fun. It should not take over your life. I let it do that a little bit last year to myself. So I ended up having to scale back this year. That's why I'm a producer instead of a host. So though I will still probably read a lot, I won't be quite as crazy as last year. And again, I can't game the system, as you could say, quite so much, just because the bonus points aren't in the arena favoring what I read the most, which is manga. So with that said, I hope this video was helpful. There were a few hints about potential prompts, but actual real prompts in this video, so I hope you caught some of them. We'll see how things go in the theories Discord, and I look forward to doing this with you guys. It's going to be a good time, and I'm glad I get to participate with everybody. And if you have questions or want to know more about the readathon, again, Brianna's video is down below. And if you're here just because you love me, leave me a book stack emoji or a glow, like a planet Earth emoji, because we're going to be going around the world with this one. So anyways, thank you guys so much. I will see you guys in the next one. Bye.